Monday already?
How can it be Monday? Was it yesterday Monday?
Buried carols
America singing.
The mason singing, the waitress singing, the farm worker singing, the bar hiker singing, the fireman singing, each one singing, the janitor, the drummer, the hooker, the housewife hiding. America singing, America singing.
Somebody, do you wanna hear the story of my life? One of these movie companies, TV documentaries. Won't you come and ask me, please?
And pay me $1 million to tell you what I do at the store. 'Cause if you pay me $1 million, I wouldn't gotta go and do it no more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like the song said, all the live long day. Everybody don't know that song. Working for a living the whole day long. All the live long day.
So like I said, I run to get hard.
Hey, somebody, won't you turn your head? Take a look my way.
I'm getting old and I tell you, getting old ain't nothing new. Step again when you know who. You know who. Feel our pal one day, and a shiny showing.
Back again.
Pal one day, get another cup of coffee, get the juices flowing, and it's 1, 2, 3, get going. Just like the song says, all the live long day. Everybody don't know that song. Working for a living the whole day long. All the live long day.
Taxi!
Everybody don't know that song. Working for a living the whole day long. Oh, long, live long day.
Hey, somebody, do you wanna hear the story of my life? One of these movie companies, TV documentaries. Won't you come and ask me, please?
Typically in the morning, you wait at the shanty till 7 o'clock. You go in at 7 and you start walking your way up the ladder, climbing up the steel. Every 2 floors, you blink it off. Then you disconnect the bottom of the mast, and you attach it to the boom on top of the choking cable. You carry a heavy block on the job, probably weighs 200, 250 pounds, something like that. I started when I was 18 working structural steel. I worked on towers, probably 120, 130 feet high, something like that. I started when I was 18, 120, 130 feet high, something like that. Now, if I was to put a 2x4 on the ground, I could knock you off with a stick. But if I put it, say, 50 feet up and a gust of wind comes and you overreact, you end up falling off. That's why most iron workers start off as kids. When you're a kid, just out of school, and the guy next to you walks across the beam, you're going to try walking across the beam, too. Iron workers very, very rarely fall in the hole. That's what our term is. If someone falls off a building, they fell in the hole. We talk a lot about it among ourselves. You iron work long enough, you're bound to get some real scares. I noticed myself, I get a copper taste in the mouth. You ever put a penny in your mouth when you were a kid? You know that taste? The taste of fear, I guess. As you get older, you reconcile yourself to the fact that it's easier to get down and coon across the beam, they call it. It is easier, but you end up losing all the hair on the inside of your legs. You can always tell an iron worker because he doesn't have any hair on the inside of his legs. Oh, another bad thing? We don't have any outhouses or anything like that up here, so we end up pissing in the columns. Everybody's always drunk the night before, so they're always expelling themselves down these columns. Now, the bad thing about that is, eventually something's going to happen where you're going to have to work down below. Worst thing in the world is if you got to burn something down there. It's like cooking a toilet. But I always knew I was going to be an iron worker. My older brothers were iron workers. My father was an iron worker, so it was a natural course of events. My father was very disappointed I didn't go to college. We had a college boy at work this summer. One day he noticed a book in my back pocket, and he was amazed. He says to me, "You read?" That's what can get to you. The non-recognition by other people. To say a man is just a laborer, or a woman is just a housewife, it bothers you sometimes. Now, sometimes, some mornings, I look across the skyline for a building I built. Say, that one there. And I look down and I can see a big fancy car pulling into the parking garage I built. I know some guy from the burbs is driving it, and I know he's never going to think about me, but I think about him sometimes. Driving his air-conditioned car into his air-conditioned office, just sitting back and enjoying the ride.
Damn, this traffic jam. How I hate to be late. Hurts my motor to go so slow. Damn, this traffic jam. The time I get to work, my coffee be cold. Damn, this traffic jam.
I left my house about 6 o'clock. It took 15 minutes to go 3 blocks.
Just in time to stand in line at the freeway looking like a parking lot. Said,
Damn, this traffic jam. How I hate to be late. Hurts my motor to go so slow. Damn, this traffic jam. The time I get to work, my coffee be cold. Damn, this traffic jam.
I almost had a heart attack looking in my rearview mirror.
saw herself the next car back, looked in the rearview mirror. About to have a heart attack and said,
Damn, this traffic jam. How I hate to be late. Hurts my motor to go so slow. Damn, this traffic jam. The time I get to work, my coffee be cold. Damn, this traffic jam.
So where the hell is the parking lot attendant?
Well, he does this every morning.
You know, it couldn't just take that long to park cars.
Yeah.
He likes to drive them around up there, listen to the radio.
Yeah, and once he has a car, you don't know what the hell he's going to go do with it before he gives it back to you. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Good morning.
Mom. Huh. I've been parking cars for 32 years. In my younger days, I was the best. Uh-huh. I still get customers say, "You sure drive good. How long you been doing it?" I say, I started driving cars when I was 16. I'm still doing it. Mm-hmm. All my waking hours is cars. My whole day is cars. I drive my car to work. When I get here, it is the customer's car. And then I drive my car home at night. But when I get home, if we go out, my wife drives. I'm known from Peking to Hong Kong, from the West Coast to the Pecos. Hacking cars is my game. In an automobile, I used to be a hell on wheels, and that's what earned me my name. Well, ask anybody to tell you about loving Al. Could ask anybody would tell you there was a time when nobody could beat me doing what I do. I'm punching a ticket, slide under the wheel, right up the bed, have it under control. Using one hand to spin her around without looking back, put her straight in the hole. People ask me how I do it. There ain't nothing to it, 'cause I'm loving Al the Wizard. Parking lots I read. Loving Al is a wizard. Don't be surprised at what you see. One swing in, one swing out. And look out! there he goes. When you park your cars here, you're working for tips, so you gets to know the types. Now your working man, he is your best tipper. He work all day, but he still give you 2 greenbacks. But you get some people riding a big Cadillac, you know what he give you? 1 measly quarter. Then we got our regular customers, they tips once a day. We give them what we call Soigné service. Customers who don't tip, well, we still give them service, but it ain't Soigné. Why can't I be a rich man with some big bucks in my Jeep? I drive a big old Cadillac and smoke Cuban cigars. You can't smoke them Tamarillas when you're riding in a rich man's car. I see him get out with the tuxedos on, and when I get in, I can smell the cologne. It'll be up, I'll be listening a while, pretending like it was my own. May sit longer than I should. No! That's 'cause it feels so good to love it now, the wizard. I can like red free. Ring down the wizard. My head, what you see? 1 swing in, 1 swing out. Look out! Give it a vibe, do it, say the do it, say that. Give it a dip, back and flip it, do it. Give it a pop, the doors out, my food down, go get down. I had a customer once, tall as a smokestack. I sat down, looked like I was sitting in the back. He said, you better pull that seat up, son. I'm almost 7 feet. Well, mister, I never move anybody's seat, 'cause I'm loving now the wizard. Please let me agree. Loving now the wizard. He's a cocktail of Grand Prix. I got to skip. I smell the tip. Woo! Loving now. Signing off. Come on, girl.
My name is Amanda McKinney. I'm a project director. I'm here at work at 7:30 a.m. I leave at 5 p.m. In between my meetings, I answer messages, emails, try to avoid my boss. One always has a boss. You have a boss. Your boss is a boss. There's politics the entire time. And sometimes you have a good boss, which I've had. Sometimes you have a Satan boss, like
Morning.
the one I have now. We sent out a notice that read, the Brotherhood of Cubicle Cuties would like to hold a Christmas party. I get called in and he says, you can't start a union here. I'm just looking at him thinking, perhaps you should be concerned about the fact we haven't turned out any work for over 2 months.
I've been in a lot of cubes. I've been in the high wall cubes. I've been in the half pipe cubes. At one place, they didn't have any cubes, just desks. All 8 of us at desks with 8 little phone lines and 8 little buttons that light up when you're on them. Oh, my career's moving. I'm really taking off now.
I paid for the walls of my cubicle with posters. I bring in fresh flowers. I brought in my favorite ceramic lamp. Well, this collection of things on top of my computer, well, we call them the computer gods. I guess I have more decorations than I thought. But I like getting fun things because without it, it's kind of, well, you know, without it, it's kind of a drab-looking place. So things like glow-in-the-dark skeletons go a long way.
I can see the programmer in the cubicle next to me through the reflection in the window. At night, I can see her reflection and see what she's doing. Quite often, she's emailing jokes to her sister. Now, I also acquired a webcam, which I put on top of my computer, and it points behind me. And I have a little window on my computer, which is the webcam picture. So if anybody walks behind me, I see them.
One guy in the corner of my room talks very loudly on the phone, so I'm filled out on his personal life to a great extent. I hear him talking to the girl he loves, his mom's giving him hell, things like that. Finally, I said, you know, I can hear everything you're saying. Now, I hear. In the corner on the phone, I know something sensitive is going on.
This industry is highly hit by mergers, which means significant layoffs. I've been through 2 of them. My mentality is quite different from those that are 20 years older, the lifers. I don't perceive that people my age think that once they've gotten hired here, they've got a job for life. What they feel is, I'm gonna work this job for a while, get as much money as I can, and then move on and get more. So, that's the way it works around here.
I'm a fella who likes to work. Some people enjoy tennis, I like work. I enjoy being a leader. I enjoy being the guy everybody looks up to. I like having thousands of people working for me. In our world of money, money management is the sexiest job there is. If I'm called a freebooter, a pirate, a robber baron, I take it as a compliment. Absolutely. Who developed America? The regulators, the SEC, or was it the millions? The Rockefellers? I mean, tell me what they did bad. Rockefeller shot down a few workers in the copper fields. Some say that he exploited them. Well, absolutely. And who benefited? There's still Standard Oil, isn't there? Millen's Bank is still around. I mean, how many charities were started by these people? How many national parks were preserved by these robber barons? Now, these are the giants who built the cities, who built our country. Unless you have losers, you cannot have winners.
Mr. Winship, you asked me to remind you of a call coming in 5 minutes overseas, please.
Thank you. Look, I'm going to have to cut this short. I have to get on the phones before the markets close overseas. Oh, everybody works long hours nowadays. I think kids work harder now than ever before. Kid wants to make it in this world, he has to be willing to work long hours. Then he has to go to school nights and learn federal policy. So you got to know how to outsmart them regulators in order to make a profit. Hell, if you can't outsmart one little government official, you shouldn't come to work in the morning. Oh, you know, I should be their teacher. I always wanted to teach, but they don't want a businessman. No, they want people in the academic world who have formalized and, I think, empty training. Yeah, that's what I'd like to do when I'm tired of all this. Get involved with young people, pass along my knowledge, my values.
Good morning, Hernando. How are you? Hello, Linda. We missed you. You know, you can have a certain dislike for a student and still manage to say, hello, Manuel. How are you doing? My name is Rose Hoffman, and I teach 3rd grade. We start each day at 9:15 with arithmetic. I have my fun tables on the board already. Multiplication. You can't just say tables anymore. You have to say fun tables because everything has to be fun, fun, fun. Oh, shoot. Well, now, I have the next subject, which is penmanship, and this is my beautiful penmanship. I have a Palmer Method diploma. And you know, this is what I tell my kids. I say, Mrs. Hoffman is here, everybody works. Working is a blessing. But you know, I don't give them assignments that are over their heads. No, you know, I don't tell them the reasons for things. We do rote. Now, rote is boring and it's monotonous, but habit is a great thing for these children. They love habit, they adore it. Habit. Now, I like a classroom that's clean and desks that are organized. I like uniformity, and I love straight lines. Oh. Yeah, the neighborhood is changing, and the type of child is changing too. I have 33 children in my classroom this year, and 23 are Spanish. I have 2 Appalachian children, They don't get near the services that these other kids get. No, because their last names aren't Spanish. They are the ones that break my heart. You know, in the old days, I had 18 to 20 students, and they were with me from the beginning bell till the end of the day. Now you've got computers and art therapy and English as a second language. I'm shocked that English is a second language. You know, when my parents came over, I didn't learn Jewish as a first language at the taxpayer's expense. And the Polish kids, they didn't learn Polish as a first language. You see, things have changed quite a bit in the years since I started teaching. In 1963, when I started to teach her, the neighborhood was Polish primarily. And I love the Polish people. They are such hard workers. And we had 2 colored families, but they were sweet. We had the paddle. And I like that. I like corporal punishment. It builds respect and trust. My classroom was always a showcase. In those days we did it ourselves. With colorful pictures and charts on the wall. A snowman in winter, a pumpkin in fall. And all our supplies were in neat little piles on the shelves. My students were always respectful. When the principal came, they would rise. If I had to leave for a minute or 2, they always had something constructive to do. And everyone sat in their places according to size. But kids don't know how to behave anymore. Ask them to rise and they'll ask you what for. We confiscate weapons and drugs at the door. No spitballs and comic books now. They want me to teach in a classroom like that, but nobody tells me how. I made quite a thing about spelling, but they learned by the time they were through. They copied the words till they learned them by heart. 10 times for the dumb ones and twice for the smart. And gold stars were given for those who made sentences too. But why bother teaching them spelling today? Nobody knows how to read, by the way. And why learn to spell what you can't even say? It's si habla español now. The way I've been teaching for 40-some years is no longer effective, or so it appears. But damn it, it worked for me then. What's wrong with it now? They say that I've got to keep up with the times, but nobody ever tells me how. Oh, well. You know, in all the years, there was one that stood out as my favorite, Pam. Yes, she was special. Not especially bright, but she was no trouble to anyone. When I see her every once in a while now, she's a checker at the Treasure Island supermarket. She's still no trouble to everyone, and she has the same smile for each person she meets.
Need a cup of rock. There isn't a thing you don't want in this store. From a soda pop to a genuine pearl and a can of oysters. I know the code for every one. There's a book on the register with all the codes. That's for the part-time girls. I never look at it. You've got your green grapes 40-22 and your reds is 40-23. You've got your Granny Smith 17, Australian Maple 12. I tell you, it just comes to me. I've got my right hand ready on the register. Use my left to scan the groceries. And when I tell you it's for the flowers or the fruits, I never have to look at the keys. Please, I'm just moving. Scan, scan, code, scan. I'm just moving. Yeah. My feet get tired, got my aches and pains. From the time I was 18, I had the varicose veins. But I put on my support hose and my Dr. Scholl's shoes. Head down to Treasure Island, dance away my blues. But just but I don't got no office, no siree. Give me the grocery, no matter how hectic it gets. I'm just moving, 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 babe. And the treasure of the super. Paper or plastic? Ladies, you have a good day. Bye-bye. Well, are you new to the neighborhood? What's your name?
I'm Kate.
Kate. Well, my name is Pam, but everybody calls me Babe.
Wait a minute, you guys just hurry it up. I gotta be somewhere in 10 minutes.
Oh, you wait your sweet time and I'll give you my full undivided attention. You rush and you're gonna get nothing.
I don't know, some idiot at the grocery store trying to tell me something.
Dear.
Okay, so I'll meet you there at 9, all right? Oh, listen, honey, produce on top. They should teach you how to bag things at this grocery store. Gee. Oh, that's cute. I like you. All right.
I just want to get some things. I'm on my way.
Meter reader!
You could have said something earlier rather than sneaking up behind me and yelling, meter reader.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. You have to make some excitement for yourself, you know? I mean, oh, well, where is he? Where is he? I've been bit once already by a Doberman. It's the biggest part of a dog's day when the meter reader comes. There was this one house I was trying to make friends with the dog. It was a snoozer, schnauzer, some little damn thing. Well, I started to walk away because it was barking its full head off. It fell over on its side. I thought I had a heart attack. The lady, she says, oh, he usually just relapses from barking too much. I usually hit him on the head with my clipboard. Then they'll say, oh, why did you hit it? The dog's not going to hurt you. I say, hey, lady, he's jumping on me. He's scratching me. So when no one's looking, you kick him down the street. Yeah, even if he just follows you, you try to get him for the one that you missed a couple houses back. Yeah, that's the biggest topic of conversation with us, dogs. And women. Hey, you have a nice looking babe. I can kind of brighten your day. You have a coat that we put on our sheets. Pretty cute. Stands for cutie. You go in there, see a nice little honey. She'll be laying on there on her stomach. Two-piece bathing suit, top strap undone. If you go in there and scare her good enough, she'll jump up. Scare them good enough when they jump up and be able to see them better. This takes time. And gives you something to do. It adds excitement to the day. Meter reader!
Work? Oh, I don't work. Well, I mean, I work, but I don't have a job. I mean, what I do only matters to 3 people. All I am is just a housewife. Nothing special, nothing great. What I do is kinda boring. If you'd rather, it can wait. All I am is someone's mother. All I am is someone's wife. All of which seems unimportant. All it is just my life. Do the laundry, wash the dishes, take the dog out, clean the house, shop for groceries, look for specials. How it sounds so Mickey Mouse. Drop the kids off, pick the shirts up, try to lose weight, try again. Keep the troops fed, pick their things up, use your patience. Count to 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 6, 7, What I do is out of fashion. What I feel is out of date. All I am is someone's mother. Right away I'm not too bright. What I do is unfulfilling. So the TV talk shows tell me every night. I don't mean to complain at all, but they make you feel like you're 2 feet tall when you're just a wife. Nowadays all the magazines make a bunch of beans out of family life. You're a whiz if you go to work, but you're just a jerk if you say you won't. People say that they think it's fine, that the choice is mine, but you know they don't. What I do, what I choose to do may be dumb to you, but it's not to me. Is it dumb that they need me there? Is it dumb to care? 'Cause I do, you see. And I mean, did you ever think, really stop and think what a job it was? Doing all the things that a housewife does. I'm afraid it's unimpressive. All I am is someone's mother, nothing special. What I do is unexciting. Take the kids there. I don't mean to complain at all. All I am is busy, busy every day. Like my mother. All I am is just a housewife. I didn't want to be a housewife like my mother and sisters. I think I always knew I wanted more out of life. I was 15. I was sitting in a coffee shop. One friend came by and said, "Hurry up, I got a cab waiting. You can make $200 in 20 minutes. We went to a penthouse. The guy up there was quite well known. He wanted to watch 2 women do it, then he wanted to have sex with me. It was barely sex. He was almost finished by the time we started. There I was, having a tremendous kick, doing nothing, feeling nothing. And in 20 minutes, I'd walk out with $200 in my pocket. Just out of curiosity, how many of you make $200 for 20 minutes work? And I was still in high school. I like to think of myself as an upper-class working girl. Well, the press calls me a socialite, but that's just another name for a well-dressed fundraiser. I began in the 80s. I gave a party in Washington for Nicaraguan refugee children. No, it wasn't for the Contras, although I'm sure that would have been fun too. But fundraising is work. It's hard to separate people from their money. It's a marketplace transaction. Somehow I managed to absorb that at a quite young age. I was a precocious child. Actually, I was sort of lonely. I didn't experience myself as being attractive. I didn't look like a Calvin Klein ad. I was bright and I didn't play by the rules. Guys were mostly scared of me. They didn't want to get involved emotionally, but they did want to fuck. For a while, I was willing to accept that. It was feeling intimacy, feeling warm, feeling. The other day, I was riding around New York in a limousine during a hotel strike, and there was nowhere to go. And I thought, well, now I know what it feels like to be a bag lady. Because let's face it, you can't pick up every homeless person off the street and take them home with you. But if you can help them by saying something entertaining, you can bring a light into their eyes. Well, maybe that's what the word socialite means. You become your job. I've become a hustler. Even when I'm not hustling, I'm a hustler. What you do is what you are. I don't think it's terribly different from somebody who works on an assembly line 40 hours a week and comes home cut off numb. People aren't built to turn on and off like water faucets.
a luggage factory. The tank I work at is 6 foot deep, 8 foot square. And in 40 seconds, we have to take the wet felt out of the felter. Put the blanket on to draw out the excess moisture, wait 2-3 seconds, take the blanket off. Pick the wet piece up and balance it on your shoulder, reach over, get the hose, spray out the inside of this copper screen, turn over to the hot, dry dye beside you, take the dry piece off and put it on the floor. Put the wet piece on the dry dye, push this button, inspect the piece we just took off, stack it, count it, 40 seconds. In the summertime, the temperature ranges anywhere from 100 to 150 degrees. I've taken thermometers and checked it out. I have arthritis in my fingers, naturally in my shoulder from balancing this wet piece. The hose will spray back and leak on you. The hydraulic presses leak, so you're constantly slipping on oil. You have the possibility of being burnt every time the wet felt hits the hot dye. And you're just engulfed in steam every 40 seconds. The tanks run 24 hours a day. I work 8 straight hours with 2 10-minute breaks. I find it difficult to eat my sandwich in that length of time. My granddad was a sailor. He blew it off the water. My father was a farmer, and I'm his only daughter. I took up with the no-good mill-working man from Massachusetts. He died from too much whiskey and left me these 3 faces to feed. Mill work ain't easy, mill work ain't hard. Mill work most often is a goddamn awful boring job, and I'm searching for a daydream to take me through the morning, put me in my coffee break so I can have my sandwich and remember. It's me and my machine for the rest of the morning, for the rest of the afternoon, and the rest of my life. They can't keep men on the takes. They say it's too monotonous. I think women adjust to monotony better because our minds are used to doing 2 things at once, where, man, you can only think of one thing at a time. I mean, a woman can listen to a kid talking to her while she's doing something else. It's how it is on the takes. You get to be automatic in what you're doing and your mind is somewhere else. My mind begins to wander about the days back on the farm, and I can see my father smiling at me, swinging on his arm, and I can hear my granddad's stories about storms out on Lake Erie, vessels and cargoes, fortunes and sailors' lives were lost. It's my life has been wasted, and I have been the fool to let this manufacturer use my body for a tool. I get to ride home in the evening, still staring at my hands, swearing by my sorrow that a young girl ought to stand a better chance. May I work this mill just as long as I am able, and never meet the man whose name is on the label. It's me and my machine for the rest of the morning and the rest of the afternoon and the rest of my life. We wish you didn't have to work in a factory. When that's all you know how to do, it's what you do.
thing.
I wanted to be a writer.
Major League Baseball
Or
player.
a little fun. If what I could be had been left to me, I could have been something.
Well, then I got married.
And the kids came along.
But then my dad took sick.
Tower of strength, the center of power. At $30 an hour.
There's always a stumbling block. Me, I was gonna work for a few years, buy me a car, head south. Then I met the wife. Kind of changed my plans. You never know what you ever do. If I could have done what I could have done, I could have done big things. With some luck to do what I wanted to, I would have done big things. Swam a few rivers, climbed a few hills, paid all my bills.
Now it's just dreams that I'm stuck with. And hell, that ain't a lot to show. I haven't gone far from the starting line. Deep down inside where it counts, I know.
If I'd gone where I could have gone, I could have gone places. Anywhere to go, as far as I could go, I could have gone places.
You run the line, top of the tail, a long way from me.
Back then I had ambition, a lot of stamina and guts. I wouldn't take no for an answer. It was tougher to fight all those ifs and or buts. All those ifs and or buts. If I could have been what I could have been, I could have been something special. If my destiny had been left to me, I could have been something. Just let me go where I was burning to go, and I was willing to go what I could have been. Oh, what I could have been. Someone say what I could have
Hey, somebody, do you wanna hear the story of my life? Hey, somebody, do you got the time? I think I broke that clock. I'm the only thing I know, and travel quite that slow. Let me hear that whistle blow.
The last hour is the hardest. You sit there with half a mind and one eye on the clock.
All I'm thinking about is getting home and taking off my uniform.
Ice cold beer.
Putting my feet up in front of the idiot box.
When that whistle blows, you get some guys want to sit around and talk. I just want to get out of here.
It's a pretty good day laying stone. You get interested in what you're doing. Usually find yourself fighting the clock the other way. You're not looking for quitting time. You're wondering if you haven't got enough done, and it's almost quitting time. There isn't a house in this country I haven't built that I don't look at every time I go by. If one stone's crooked, I notice it. People who lives there might not notice it, but I notice it. Stone's my business. Stone's my life. I daydream all the time about stone. Someday, I'm gonna build me a stone cabin out by the Green River. Kitchen cabinets built of stone. Everything's stone. Seems like all my dreams have to have a piece of rock mixed up in them.
He builds a house with his hands. 30 years go by, it stands. It stands where nothing stood, a house of stone. The mason sleeps real good. He does his workday flies. Quitting time's a big surprise. And then it's one more stone to get just right. It's always one more stone before the night. Every house he builds, every stone he lays, he's not just making money or counting off the days. He builds a house with his hands. 100 years go by, it stands. It tells you who he was. Life goes fast. The work a mason does, it's made to last. Yes, the work a mason does.
You know, there's nothing in this world that's gonna last forever. But stone, you're getting awful close.
It's made to last.
How are ya? Coffee?
Yeah, sugar.
All right. Well, my name's Dottie. You just holler if you need anything.
All right.
Oh,
Breaker number 9, big buddy, put your ears on for me now. Big trucker gotta have a big life. So come on, brother trucker, you gotta come back, motherfucker. Keep seeing double lest I close one eye. I got to roll, 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 brother trucker. Stirring up a shame about the shape I'm in. Roll, 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 brother trucker. I'm back on my wheels again. Roll, 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 brother trucker. Outward bound from South Bend. Roll, 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 brother trucker. I'm back on my wheels again. I'm running out of whites. Goddamn dim those headlights. 4 hours sleep in the last 2 nights, but I'm gonna be alright. About halfway home, can't get to a telephone. I'm hot as a pistol and dry as a bone. I wonder if my baby's alone. I got to roll, 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 brother trucker. I say where and you say when. Roll, 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 brother trucker. I'm back on my wheels again. Roll, 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 brother trucker. Back it on up and do it again. Roll, 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 brother trucker. I'm back on my wheels again. Newdover, New Jersey, big state to leave. I'm in a hurry. Won't you let me go in peace? I'm independent. I ain't got no teams to do. Cause the AFL and the CIO, they still don't own the road. And the only man telling me where to go is the man who owns the road. And he says, roll, 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 brother trucker. I say where and you say when. Roll, 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 brother trucker. I'm back on my wheels again. Roll, 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 brother trucker. Back it on up. I gotta roll, 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 brother trucker. I'm back on my wheels again. I make 2 round trips to Milwaukee, passes the 4 blocks of my house, but I don't ever go home. Just sit in your truck and the only companionship you got is your own thoughts. You get mighty lonely not talking to anybody for 48 hours. Halfway back from Milwaukee, you gotta call your dispatcher, and I'll tell you, you're even happy to talk to him. Hello, Chet. This is Ralph. I was just... Hello? Hello? Silly squat phone company.
T-Mobile, how may I help you?
Yeah, I just got cut off.
I'm sorry, sir. May I have the number you were calling?
Yes, 719-269-5910.
I'm sorry, sir. That number is busy.
Jesus, lady, I was just talking to him. What's
I'm
wrong
so-
with you people?
I'm sorry, sir. Perhaps the party is trying to reach you.
Oh.
Maybe if you wait 5 minutes, then place your call again. You know, sometimes you really want to talk to them if they sound upset. For me, it's a temptation just to say, gee, what's the matter? You can't say more than, I'm sorry you're having trouble. You get caught talking to a customer, that's a mark against you. You know, one man said, operator, I'm lonesome. Will you please just talk to me? And I said, I'm sorry, I can't. But you can't. I'm a communications person, and I can't communicate.
Always thought of a receptionist as the dumb broad at the front desk taking phone messages. Now I'm one, so of course I've had to change my opinion. She had to be special, right? Because I thought I was special. Everything was fine until we had this office party. I would be having a fairly intelligent conversation with someone when they asked me what I did. When I said, I'm a receptionist, they made up an excuse and walked away. Now I make up other names for what I do. Communications control, servo mechanism.
You know, it's strange, but you get tired of talking. My mouth gets tired from talking constantly for 6 hours straight without a 10-minute break. I just can't think about it. Everyone is in a hurry to talk to someone else, but not to talk to you. You're in a room the size of a gymnasium, surrounded by people talking to people thousands of miles away.
I get tired at the end of the day. Tired of talking. There isn't a 10-minute break during the day that's quiet. You can't think. What I do all day is say what I have to say as quickly as I can and then transfer the call to the person it's supposed to go to. I notice that sometimes people ask me to slow down when they're talking.
Do I listen in on conversations?
I'll never listen in on a phone conversation, but I tell you,
Some girls really do. Especially if you're working late at night. Sometimes the people on the line can be so funny, you'll just sit there and laugh until the tears are rolling down your face.
I once worked at Illinois Bell, and let me tell you, I think the greatest thing is listening in on phone conversations. When it's late and things are quiet, I can think of an operator who hasn't listened in on a phone conversation.
It makes the night go faster.
Sometimes to make the night go faster, I'll do drawings, laundry and sort of things of nature, never people. I pretend that I'm alone and that I'm in the land of no phone. When I'm at home, I never answer the phone.
I saw this ad in the newspaper, equal opportunity employer, salary plus commission. When I got the job, I was thrilled. All I had to do was talk on the phone. We didn't even have to think of what to say. They had it all written out for us.
T-Mobile, how may I help you? I'm sorry, sir, that number is busy. Perhaps if you wait 5 minutes, then place your call.
Good afternoon, Schwartz, Schaefer, Gamble, and Rice. How may I help you? I'm sorry, he's on another line. Can I give you his voicemail?
Hello, this is Mrs. Dubois. Could I have a moment of your time? If you would, for only 3 short months, subscribe to our newspaper. It's for a worthy cause. To help blind children. The one that really got me was this call I made. It was to the worst ghetto area. The guy listened patiently, and then he said, I really would like to help. He was blind himself. Here I was, sitting here, telling him a bunch of lies. I apologized and thanked him. I ran to the ladies' room. I was nauseous. I prayed right there in that restroom. I said, dear God, there must be some other way for me to make a living. I've never harmed anyone in my life, dear Lord. I went in and finished the day because I had no other means of employment. And then, as if my prayers were answered, I got another job. Well, I walked into my supervisor's office and I told him a few things. I was sick of his bullying and I wasn't going to lie for him anymore. Oh, Lord, I can't really tell you what I said, but I didn't yell. I was very calm. Oh, I felt good. Well, I still work in the same building, and every once in a while I pass him in the hall. When I do, I hold my head very high, very erect, and I keep on walking.
You know, it's something to run into someone who says, Operator, it's a nice day out. How's your day been? Busy? Has it been a rough day? You're so thankful for those people. You say, yeah, it's been an awful day. Thank you for asking. T-Mobile, how may I help you? Yes, I'm sorry, that number is busy. Perhaps if you wait 5 minutes, then please call.
Have you had your quota of mercury today? What's interesting from the bar that I can offer you? Huh? You know, it would get very boring if I had to say over and over and over again, what kind of cocktail would you like? May I offer you a cocktail? So I come out different for my own enjoyment. I'll say, what's interesting from the bar that I can offer? Something, you know. If you order a cocktail, you'll get a little philosophy. If you order a coffee, you're going to get political science. My bosses hate it, but, you know, I speak very sono voce. Unless I get heated, and then I don't give a damn. I talk like any Italian. I have to be a waitress. How else does the world come to me? Everybody has hunger, everybody eats. I serve them. I give service. I can't be servile, and there is a difference. Giving service is intoxicating. It's very dramatic. It feels like Mata Hari. I get intoxicated. I'm on stage.
Good evening, Samuel Joes. No, I'm so sorry. We don't have anything till 9:30. Yes, we're very busy tonight. We have a dinner show. Thank you.
There's some as don't care. When they put down the plate, there's a sound. Not with me. They pull out the chair and it scrapes with the grate on the ground. Not with me. I will have my hand right when I place the glass. There is how I stand right as customers pass. Serve it in a task with a gesture so gentle, or do it again till it's new oriental. La 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 la. It's an art to be a fine waitress, to see that you never jest. There's a twist to my wrist when I bring the steak in, or watch how I take in your liver and bacon. It all will be stylish and smart. That's what makes it an art. I remember last week, as I do now and then, I had shakes. Down I went. There with my tray full of coffees and cordials and cakes. Down I went. But I kept my poise, not one guest heard me fall. Never made a noise, not one noise food at all. If you're gonna crawl, you give them what they like. You carry your tray like it's almost ballet like. La 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 la. It's an art to be a fine waitress. Each evening I treasure the test. Like tonight was a fight, cause we hired this busboy, this clothes all of busboy. The guests heard him cuss. Boy, did we have a quick heart to heart. Even that was an art. Here is your steak, m'lady. I like to say m'lady. I hate ma'am. And sometimes I like to say playfully to the gentleman, here is your check, my lord.
Well, honey, what do you think I should tip you tonight?
Oh, do what you want. Don't play God with me. Tips. Ha! Tips are important for people like captains and barmen. For them, it's a tipsy. For me, I'm a gypsy. So toss me a coin and I'll suddenly feel like I'm Carmen. Whoa! For the mother of the year. So on to the altar, the backwards, the hot, sweaty feet. On you go. Through is your knife, dulcer, and Madam wants what with the knee tap-tap. On you go. 2 a.m. approaches, the curtain descends. There among the roaches, my act's at an end. every night I tend to find myself crying. There's no job so trying, so satisfying. I tell everybody I'm a waitress and I'm proud. When somebody says to me, hey, you're terrific, how come you're just a waitress? You know what I say to them? I say, why? Don't you think you deserve to be served by me? It's an art, it's an art to be a great waitress, do without pleasure or rest. So I do this in the room with a flair no one else has and no one else has. I swear no one else has my built. When I say a la carte, another order to go, you can see it gives me a glow. Every time I prove I'm a pro. Maybe I'm not quite Michelangelo, but I'm not just a waitress.
We're great.
I'm a one-woman show. Oh, that's a great night. Lovely. Ooh. Oh, huh. I think that somebody in the back brought a little extra out here, huh? Looks good. So anyway, you know, I have to be in here 16 years. I finally just got back from Hawaii. My daughter says, hey, you went with your lover, act your age, Ma. I told her, honey, if I was going to act my age, I wouldn't even be walking after 16 years at this place. Hey,
Another
who brought this
15
move out
years,
here?
and I got my pension time in, huh?
Oh, let's see, I'll be eligible for retirement in 25 freaking years.
I got 36 years.
Another 29 years.
37 years.
After so long, you know what I would like to experience? After so long, what I would like to experience is not having to go to work.
When I retired, the first 2 years, I was downhearted. I had no place to go, nothing to do. But then I gave myself a good going over. Joe, I said, you can't sit at home like that and waste your time. You gotta get out, do things. Well, the day goes pretty fast for me now. I don't daydream at all. I just think of something, and I forget it. That daydreaming, it don't do you no good. Keep busy, keep moving, that's the trick. You wake at 10, fold up the bed. You don't want to leave your couch open all day, you know, it's depressing. You cook an egg, you toast some bread. You cook for yourself, you save a bundle. If you don't keep track of your money, who will? You think about the day ahead. You don't go feeling sorry for yourself. It's like I said, you can sit home and be mad at the world, or you can get out and do things. You take a walk, you feed a chunk. This one guy lives down by National Biscuit. Boy, you should see the nice aroma. You shoot the bull, you argue some. Maybe he calls up a couple other fellas. Come over, play some poker. You lose a gin until they come. This guy remembers what cards you picked up. The dirty bum. But even getting beat at gin sure beats doing nothing. You take a bus, you take a train. You go visit your wife's grave. On the way, you read the Reader's Digest. It does you good to use your brain. Or maybe you go out and see your cousin. You bring along a six-pack. You take a stroll down memory lane. When we were young, we was always together. And raising Cain, we go back a long ways, him and me. Oh, the times we had. I remember once, back in '62, we were at this fair with these girls we knew on this crazy ride where you screamed or you prayed. Whatever they called it. We could hardly walk as we left the car, so we staggered down for a candy bar, and we sat and laughed in the penny arcade. Oh, yeah. At 6 o'clock, you watch the news. Them politicians get you so mad you throw your slippers at the set. You cook some pranks, no big to-dos. Most nights you lay around, you straighten up, maybe you call your daughter. You watch a game, you take a snooze. Ah, then there's Sunday. Sunday's different. You change your shirt, you shine your shoes, because you're going round the block to the tavern. some pool, you drink some beer. You don't have to drink a lot to have a good time, maybe 3, 4 in an evening. You find a pal, you bend his ear. You meet a lot of your old crowd there Sunday. Sometimes a bunch of you sing. The kind of song you never hear, like Stardust or In the Mood. And then you cheer. Last Sunday night we sang Till We Meet Again. Believe it or not, I once did a waltz to that tune. Honest to God. It was at a dance, I was 17, and the girl was like from a magazine. And the lights were low, and I really mean low. I think a couple of my friends had something to do with that. So I kissed her cheek as we waltzed away. I remember that like it's yesterday. Boy, was she surprised. I could hear her say, Joe! Oh, yeah. They drive you home from round the block. You take the cash out of your sock. You fix the bed, you check the lock, you wind the clock. When I retired, a lot of people told me, Joe, you got your health, you shouldn't have done it. It was too late. I don't know why I retired, it's just a habit, I guess. But I got no regrets. I keep busy, keep traveling. I go to fires every once in a while. That big fire we had over on Milwaukee Avenue about 3 months ago, I was there. I was surprised. The smoke was rolling out of there, heavy as hell. But you don't see no flame, you know. Oh yeah, they must have had about 30 units there. You get the news over the radio. Boy, that was some fire.
You go in there, and it's dark, and smoke's pouring out of the goddamn building. It all happens really fast. I feel this tremendous heat to my left, and I turn around. The whole fucking room is orange-yellow. You just see orange and feel the heat. Lieutenant and the other guys, they got the ladder up, saved 2 people. But downstairs, there was this guy trying to get out the front door, and they had bolts on the door. He burnt dead. Yeah. You know what the lieutenant said?
We lost the guy. Shit, we lost the guy.
Yeah, but you saved 2 people. I mean, how could you know there was a guy sleeping on the pool table?
Yeah, but we lost the guy.
You know, I always wanted to be a fireman. Well, lots of guys want to be firemen. It's like kids. Everybody's still a kid inside. Guy's 40 years old, still feels like a kid inside. I used to be a cop. You know why I switched to fireman? I liked people. And sometimes when I was a cop, I could feel the hate coming into me. I remember this one time I went to the top of this project, and there's this big guy, about 6'7", standing at the top of the stairs with his back to me, and I said, hey, turn around a minute. He goes, yeah, wait a minute. And his elbows started moving around his belt. And I said, turn around a minute. And it dawned on me, he had a gun caught in his belt, and he was trying to get it out. And I said, holy crap. So I took my gun out, and I said, you fucker, I'm going to shoot. And he threw his arms, his hands up against the wall. He had his dick out, and he was trying to zip up his fly. And there was this girl in the corner, which I couldn't see, and so here's this guy getting a hand job, and lots of guys might have killed him, and I said, holy shit, I could have killed you. And he started shaking, and the gun in my hand started shaking like a bastard, and I said, I don't know, I must have been crying. I said, get the hell out of here. So I took the fire department test in '93, got called back in '94. You know, the world is fucking fucked up. The country's fucked up. But the firemen, you see them produce. You see them put out a fire. You see them come out of buildings with babies in their hand. You see them give mouth to a guy when he's dying. You can't get around that shit. That shit is real. You know, I used to work in a bank. It's all numbers, and you're looking at papers. That shit ain't real. You know, but I can look back and I can say, I helped put out a fire. I helped save somebody. It shows something I did on the earth. Yeah, I always wanted to be a fireman.
You know what I always wanted? I wanted to play the piano. That's what I really wanted. And I'd write songs about growing up in the South, about my mama and my grandmama and me. Well, now I got my own beautiful daughter, and I got plans for her. So I get up every morning and I go scrub rooms up at the Marriott. And then I comes here at night and it's more scrubbing. The generation, that's all we've been doing, scrubbing. But my daughter, she ain't gonna do no domestic work. I intend to be the end of that particular line. Mama worked just like her mama before her. Domestic working was their trade. They was laundress, cook, living help, thirsty girl, babysitter, and hotel maid. They worked 6 days a week, all day long. Never could get out of debt. Those were the days when the minimum wage was anything you could get. They was cleaning women without faces, coming and going on the first name basis. You're talking to somebody who knows, somebody who knows. And after too many years, Lord, I don't wanna be in no more laundry room. I don't wanna pick up narrow one more broom one of these days. One of these days. Just wanna sleep till noon. All day long I'm thinking my kids is in the streets somewhere. There's the folks up in their rooms don't think you're thinking half the time. Always talking around you like you ain't even there. It's getting so if you sell them to my mind. Daughter with a head on her shoulder, pretty as a picture too. She ain't gonna hide that face of hers behind those scrubbing work. So mama, do in my legs don't get out and my back rolled up. I'm gonna make her day. Well, you'll never see her getting down on her knees unless she's there today. No more cleaning with mine without faces. She'll be coming up and down on his last name basis. She'll be the first in this family to have a face like you see, Lord. She ain't gonna be stuck inside no laundry room. When she's sleeping, she'll be pushing her own broom. The day will never come when she can sleep till noon. Only she can dance singing her own tune. Oh, be that day. Oh, lovely day. Can't come too soon. For generations we've been scrubbing women. But my daughter, she's a whole new generation. That's what we got coming up here, a whole new generation.
Yeah. Just don't care about football stats. What's Dow Jones doing? I have to go, okay? My name is Ralph Werner. I'm 19 years old. I ran this mutual fund for the students at my school. My dad runs his own Wall Street firm, so I guess that's where I learned. He's an arbitrageur. You know, one of those guys who sometimes gets caught for insider trading. But we took 1 year of ethics at school, so I'm sure I won't run into the same problem. And I took 1 year of American history, and I read the newspaper every day. Business section and the sports section. I'm going to business school, more naturally. What I'd really like to be is a professional golfer, but realistically, I'll probably be an entrepreneur. And then I hope to start a family. My quote-unquote dream girl has long brunette hair, doesn't have to wear a lot of makeup because she'll be naturally pretty, and she has to have a lot of personality, because when we're 30 and moving up the ladder, she's going to do a lot more than looks. And she has to be a good mother. I've got 3 children, 2 boys and a girl, and a colonial house, possibly leaning towards the Mediterranean style. Maybe my house could be backing up right on the golf course so that me and my wife can play golf whenever we want. I hope my wife can play golf. This summer I've been working with a realtor on the Cape. We have a timeshare program going. There's a lot of interest. I think it shows a lot of potential. By the way, would you be interested in a condominium on Cape Cod?
My name is Charlie. I'll be 20 in 3 weeks. I was recommended for this job as a copy boy at a Chicago paper. I went down, talked to the editor about how much I wanted to be a journalist. He liked me. I had a tie on. Coming to work for me was kind of a missionary kind of thing. I was bringing in organic walnuts and organic raisins and giving them out to everyone. See, at this stage of the game, I was in a very spiritual mood. I was enjoying my job because most of the time I was just answering phones. I mean, people would call up with a problem or a complaint, and I'd say, look, this is a capitalist newspaper. As long as it's a capitalist newspaper, it's not going to serve you because its purpose is to make money for its owner. I tell them to come on down to the paper and take it over, or call up the editor. A lot of people responded really well to these suggestions, and then my editor calls me into his office and says, blah, 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 blah. I wanted to take a baseball bat and smash his head in. I mean, I like him a lot. He's a really nice guy. I don't know if I'd really get any pleasure from taking a 50 caliber machine gun and shooting him in pieces. I mean, my fantasies all spraying at the paper involve getting a gun and shooting them. Or walking into the editor's office with a gun and saying, okay, how do you face your death? I was thinking for months, what am I going to do when I get fired? I had to do something to show them, hey, I'm better than you motherfuckers. I'm getting fired because I'm different. I had to think fast. So I looked right at the editor and I said, I hope you can live with the situation you created. And then I just turned around and walked out. He started to cry. And he hurried after me and he says, no, I'm not the one creating the situation, you are. And I said, no, you're the one with the power. I'm not the one with the power. So now I've got myself on unemployment. They were really nice to me at first. Then they told me to get a number. I told her to say, hey lady, fuck you. I could wait outside your apartment, bash you over the head and take your money. But that's bitterness. I don't like being bitter. I'm a pacifist.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to our equipment and its non-water capabilities, we're going to have to finish the rest of the show inside. You're more than welcome to scoot inside. We'll do the rest of it with our musicians and our actors. So, sorry for the inconvenience. Weather be damned.
Heard a lot of songs say, where you going, my son? Now I know they're true. Boy, you never stop to think how fast the years run. Now they've taken you. I remember you was 1.5. Your ma and me, we'd sit there after things got quieted. We laughed at some new word you said, how tough you were to get to bed, and we planned the night away, planning for our kid. I was your hero then, I couldn't do no wrong as far as you were concerned. You thought I was the best of men. The tables hadn't turned. I had learned how little time it takes when daddies make mistakes. I've been thinking a lot. about my dad. Lots of funny things come back I thought I'd forgot. Now they make me sad. High school and it used to be, I didn't want him touching me. I'd shudder if he did. Then further back to summer nights, baseball games beneath the lights, sleeping in a car with Daddy and his kid. He was my hero then. He couldn't do no wrong as far as I was concerned. I thought he was the wisest and the strongest and best of men. Tables hadn't turned. I learned how little time it takes. Everybody breaks, and daddies make mistakes. You know, this may sound square, but I think of my kid as my imprint. You know what I mean? This is why I work. Every time I see a smart young guy walking by dressed real sharp, I'm looking at my kid. You know what I want? I want my kid to tell me he's not going to be like me. I want him to look me straight in the eye and say, Dad, you're a nice guy, but you're a fucking dummy. Well, hell yes. If you can't improve yourself, you improve your posterity. Otherwise, life ain't worth nothing. You might as well go back to the cave and stay there. I'm sure the first caveman who went over the hill to see what was on the other side, I don't think he went there wholly out of curiosity. I think he went there to get his son out of the cave. I heard a lot of songs say, where you going, my son? Now I know they're real. Lots of funny things come back, they know where to run. And the things they steal. And now it seems I always do. Why do the things I do and the things I never did? And why I work my whole damn life so I could give a better life than the one my father gave me. I give it to my
You see, it's not just the work. Somebody built the pyramids.
The pyramids, the Empire State Building, these things didn't just happen.
I don't care how little you did. You work on a road and you say, I worked on that road.
You see a bridge, you say, I worked on that bridge.
You know what I think? If a carpenter builds a cabin for poets, the poets owe the carpenter a little plaque on the wall. Just 2 or 3 lines.
Though we labor with our mind, this place we can relax in.
It was built by someone who can work with his hands.
Yeah.
Picasso can point to a painting, or Ryder can point to a book. Who can I point to?
Everyone needs something to point to.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see a building, say the Empire State. I'd like to see on one side of it a foot-wide strip from top to bottom listing all the electricians, all the bricklayers, all the ironworkers, all the names. So a guy walking by could take a sun and he could say, see that building?
I was the one who did the design.
I was the one who drafted the plans.
Every detail and every line. See that building?
I ran the crane that lifted the beams.
I was the guy who worked up above.
Look at those bricks are mine.
See that building?
Look how my door hangs in the frame.
See that building?
40 flights up, I scratched my name.
See that building?
I'm on staff, I work as a guard.
I clean the floors and I clean them good.
People don't know my job is hard. See that building?
5 days a week, I work at a desk.
I do the books.
I handle the mail.
9 on the dot, I punch my card.
See that window up on the ledge? 10 from the top. See that window? Count from the left.
1, 2,
3, stop. That's where I work. Everyone should have something to point to, something to be proud of. Look what I did, see what I've done. I did the job, I was the one. Everyone should have something to point to, some way to be tall in the crowd. See that building, day after day after day after day. That's where I put myself on the line. That's where I sweat to earn my pay. See that building, that's where I put the food on the plates. That's where I live a piece of my life, where I can bring my kids and say, see that building, the labor was done, decisions are made. See that building, the windows are washed, the site was surveyed, the memos are checked, the carpet was laid, the napkins are kept, the office was run, the coffee was sold, the digging was done, the building was built for all eyes to see.
I know, lunchtime.